we're heading over to Inazuma now with our tomes. I wanted to sit here in the Kamisato estate and just look really, elegant. But alas, there's no actual chair in the Kamisato residence, so you can't actually sit down. So Aiga's just gonna have to stand there looking hella awkward. Now, I wasn't too sure if I should be in Sumeru or Inazuma for this next one, because it's about a Sumeran dude in Inazuma, or traveling to Inazuma from what I glanced at. So we're gonna just make do with being in Inazuma. This is the Saga of Hamavaran. Volume 1. Forward. Oh, we have a forward. That's nice and pretentious. I love it. Thanks to a fruitful new writer recruitment drive and the phenomenal success of the contest, this novel is amazing. We have received many highly original works from up-and-coming writers all over the world. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our international writers for supporting Inazuma's light novel industry, and would also like to thank Kanjo Commissioner Hiragi Shinsuke for his grace and generosity. It is thanks to all of you that we are able to bring so many outstanding works to the readers of Inazuma here today. As you all know, prior to the promulgation of the Sakoku decree, a number of accomplished samurai from various lands were active in Inazuma. I'm just trying to process. Do you mean these warriors from other lands came to Inazuma and became samurai? Or are you calling warriors from other lands samurai and they just happen to be active in Inazuma? Because they're two different things and the second doesn't make sense. So I'm going to assume these people hailed from other countries, nations, and came to Inazuma and acted with a samurai training to thus be called a samurai. One of them, whose name is Hamavaran, hails from the distant rainforest nation of Sumeru, but came all the way to the land of the lightning's glow to be an agent of chivalry. Yes, okay, so they're coming here to be samurai. Though tales of Hamavaran's deeds were once buried during the peak of unchanging eternity under Her Excellency the Shogun, they have now been given life anew thanks to the narrative prowess of a good friend of mine, the budding author Persina. Persina? Are we pronouncing this in a Japanese sense? I do not know. Now, without further ado, please enjoy the Saga of Hamavaran at your leisure. Well, that's very straightforward. Volume 1 being a forward, so yep. Oh wow, this is actually really short. Volume 2. It's not the tempest at sea I'm worried about. It's the prospect of deferred graduation. This was a thought occupying Hamavaran's mind on his long voyage to Inazuma. You worry about not getting your thesis finished in time and having to delay your graduation, aren't you? The familiar-sounding voice came from outside the cabin. Shh, who are you anyway? Who, me? Is that important? Good point. No, you're not that important. Hey. What is even happening? Is he arguing with himself? And so, as the great thunderstorm raged, shaking the seas and heavens alike, Hamavaran began arguing with the quiet voice from outside the window, while her worries about the storm and fears about not completing the thesis on time paled into significance. But strangely, when Hamavaran arrived on shore, the owner of the voice that had been arguing back from outside the window was nowhere to be seen. Maybe it was the ghost of a shipwreck victim. Hamavaran considered the possibility. Ghosts are just the ley lines memories of the deceased, Hamavaran reasoned. It's a completely natural phenomenon that occurs due to resonance between past and present. To be sure, it's highly unusual for this to happen in the middle of the ocean, but it's by no means impossible. Who are you calling a ghost? You're the ghost. Hamavaran had finally produced a satisfactory hypothesis to explain away the symptoms of delirium and had moved into luggage collection when the familiar voice piped up once more. What a very short volume. Volume 3. So you really are a ghost? No, I'm not even dead yet. But you've never been alive either. Yeah, I guess you could say that. The talkative young girl, who claimed to be a shikigami, gulped down gluttonous rice dango with such speed and intensity that Hamavaran began to worry she might choke. If I had to explain it, I'd say my situation is more like that of a ghost calling. So, like I said, a ghost. No, I'm not that kind of ghost. One argument later, Hamavaran finally understood that what she called ghost calling was something roughly equivalent to what in Sumeru was known as spirit boarding. Both involve signing a pact using one's real name. The notion that you can command someone who you know, when you know their real name, is common to many of the world's mystic traditions, and it highlights a core fear held by humans, the fear of being under someone else's control. With thoughts thusly wandering, Hamavaran once again began to regret specializing in the much-neglected discipline of marine biology instead of mysticism. First I have to sail all the way to Inazuma, then I have to go through the living hell that is a thesis defense. But maybe running into this noisy little thing is a stroke of good luck for me. Why is he going to Inazuma for his marine biology? Is there something special about the Inazuma waters that would benefit his marine biology? I'm not sure. And I know we're definitely not going to get any explanation on that front. So, yeah, okay. I don't really know its importance given the current state of the world, but there you go, the Saga of Hamavaran.